Hi, my name is Sarah Atwell, and this is my video reflection activity for task 1C. So the first thing I'm going to do is explain all the major components of Charlotte Danielson's framework for teaching. This is the framework that we use at our school. Um, Domain 1 is planning and preparation. So this one focuses on demonstrating knowledge of content and pedagogy, demonstrating knowledge of students, setting instructional outcomes, demonstrating knowledge of resources, designing coherent instruction, and designing student assessments. Domain 2 is the classroom environment, creating an environment of respect and rapport, establishing a culture for learning, managing classroom procedures, managing student behavior, and organizing physical space. Domain 3 is instruction, communicating with students, using questioning and discussion techniques, engaging students in learning, using assessment in instruction, and demonstrating flexibility and responsiveness. And the last domain is professional responsibilities, reflecting on teaching, maintaining accurate records, communicating with families, participating in a professional community, growing and developing professionally, and showing professionalism. So now I'm going to talk about the strengths and weaknesses of the current model. So the strengths are it is very detail oriented, down to every part of the classroom, planning, prepping, the environment, and all the teacher responsibilities. And I think the weaknesses are there are so many different points to think about all the time. It's hard to remember them all and do them all. And it's kind of a rotation through focusing on different things. Okay, next I'm going to explain how planning decisions are made and which components of the model will be emphasized in a given unit plan and related lesson plan. So first, usually up here around 1B, no, let me see here. Oh, 1C, sorry. Setting and instructional outcomes. I start by looking at the Common Core state standards to see what students need to learn from the lesson, and I plan to clearly let them know what they need to learn and make changes for diverse learners. And then 1E, designing coherent instruction. I review instructional materials and resources that we have, provide learning activities, and a variety of instructional groups for different activities to create lessons for each unit. And then 1F, designing student assessments. I give students a pre-assessment to see what knowledge they have to begin with and learn what we need to focus on based on the Common Core state standards. Throughout the lesson, I use formative assessments to see the students know and use this information for planning future lessons. And then in domain 2, the classroom environment, 2B, establishing a culture for learning. I talk to the students about what they're expected to learn from the lesson and achieve by the end of the lesson. We also talk about taking their time and doing their best work. And 2C, managing classroom procedures. I plan what instruction groups will look like, transitions, have materials and supplies out and ready to go. Let's see here. And 2D, managing student behavior. I provide clear expectations for learning and what students will need to accomplish, then closely monitor behavior and misbehavior. Down here in domain 3, engaging students in learning. For each lesson, I plan a variety of activities, including direct instruction, activities, assignments, student groups, partner work, and provide a variety of materials and resources. I plan on how the structure will work and then see how students are learning to guide if we need to spend more or less time on the lesson. And 3D, using assessment and instruction. I use pre-assessments to see what students already know, then talk to students about what they need to learn based on Common Core state standards. I monitor students' learning and give feedback and ask students what they know compared to what they need to know so that they can assess themselves. And then domain 4A, reflecting on teaching. I'm constantly reflecting on how the lesson went and how the day went, how I should make changes the next day or for the next lesson. And 4B, maintaining accurate records. I will make a plan for what students need to learn, how I'm going to track their progress, and what will go in the gradebook. And when lesson planning, I'll decide what components will need to be emphasized in each lesson based on what we're learning and our learning goal. For example, if we're working on reading goals, I'll talk to the students about how many words per minute they need to read to be on grade level and share how many words they are reading per minute with them and their parents. This does not require as much planning for the classroom environment. And if I'm planning a reading lesson, which the class is divided into groups, and each group is reading about a different country with a group poster presentation, I know this lesson is going to require a lot more planning for the classroom environment, procedures, transitions, and monitoring student behavior. So I think that helps clarify my understanding of the instructional model and how I use it every day. Thank you.